there's still a lot of doom and gloom when it comes to Xbox. No matter what Microsoft does, it's the end of the world. It's the worst thing ever. They've got no games, but if they rush to games and they're bad, then it's typical Microsoft. So they're between a rock and a hard place when it comes to most people. But I think there's fans like me who kind of are a little bit more understanding with these types of situation and realize that a game that gets delayed can be a good game. It might still be a bad game. We don't really know. There's games that were delayed that are still bad, like Crackdown 3. That game was delayed multiple times and still stunk out loud. But when it comes to Microsoft and what they're able to accomplish with the Game Pass and things like that, I think people are forgetting, or they assume that everybody's a big AAA gamer. This is what I've done traditionally myself as well. I'm a traditionally a AAA gamer. I love AAA games. I play 99% AAA games. I'll dabble with some of the smaller games, but mostly if it's a game I'm playing it that's a big budget game. I love those type of games. Now, with that being said, thanks to Game Pass, obviously I've dabbled a little bit more in some of the smaller games, and I think that that's worked out kind of well. You know, I don't always find a game that I like, but sometimes I'll find like a gem or something that I think is actually pretty cool, and it ends up kind of, you know, taking some of my time. Like, it's hard to explain, like, if you find something to be maybe in that AA realm, that could be something that's a little bit different too. We used to get those AA games all the time, and now not so much. For instance, I'm going to try, thanks to Game Pass and, you know, talking to some people that played the game, I'm going to try Outer Worlds. Now, many of you know, right, that I don't like Fallout games. And the reason why I don't like Fallout games is a couple of reasons. The first reason being the situation itself. I'm not a big fan of like the post-apocalyptic thing and fighting monsters, like, and that kind of stuff. The second thing is like the scrounging in that. Like, you know, I tried playing Fallout 3, and you scrounge for, you know, you get a revolver and you find 3 bullets and there's like 20 enemies to kill, right? Like, that's not fun to me. So I was asking some people about, you know, Outer Worlds because it looked interesting, and some friends were that didn't know each other or anything like that, and I asked it for separately, compared it a little bit to Mass Effect. They said it's kind of Mass Effect-y, and it's, you know, and it's fun, and it's got that kind of Mass Effect vibe, sort of a cross between Mass Effect and BioShock, and that I can get behind. It also supposedly has Skyrim systems, like with the upgrade and the and stuff like that. So I'm going to give that game a try. It's a game that I would never probably have bought or even thought about before, but I've been wanting to play an RPG, and I was watching some stuff and it just popped up, and I was like, you know what, maybe I will give that game a try. That's the beauty of Game Pass. The other thing is something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. You know, not an expensive game, you know, $23, $24, whatever it is. But it's a game that was included day one on Game Pass, which is really cool because, you know, the kids want to play that stuff too. You know, they want to play it on their own. They want to play it with me. They want to play it together. Everybody can download it. It doesn't cost me, you know, an individual price, you know, $20 a pop to actually do that. It would have been over $100 for me to get everyone that game. So you start to see where things kind of come into play. This announcement, this type of stuff is very positive for Microsoft, and I want to get into it and I want to talk about it. You know, and this article, of course, I'm going to link, but it's fascinating, and it does speak a lot to what I've been saying and kind of been realizing myself. I'm not always right, okay? I'm not, and I'm not the only gamer in the world. So, you know, I'm looking forward to doing this video. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the video. Let's get started right now, shall we? Now, I was in a group chat the other day, and people were talking about how millions of people must have unsubscribed from Game Pass because Starfield and Redfall got delayed, and it was a little bit odd to me that people would think that because Microsoft went through a phase there over a 2-year period where they didn't release a AAA first-party game that entire time, yet Game Pass doubled in subscribers during that time. And why is that? Well, I think the main reason is the strength is more than just the AAAs. Yes, I prefer AAAs. I love AAAs. I'm not making excuses for their lack of AAAs. I'm saying they probably will come, but there's other things to consider in the meantime, just the scope of the games that are in there. So Forbes did this article, which I thought was interesting, which is Microsoft was leaving PlayStation and Nintendo behind even without Starfield. And he says, I've written in the past that Xbox Game Pass is Microsoft's ace in the hole. Combined with cloud gaming, Microsoft has a super weapon and neither Sony or Nintendo can match it. When Bethesda announced that its massive RPG Starfield was being delayed until 2023, many people critical of my argument took it as a sign that I was wrong. Many random people on Twitter sent me screenshots of my previous opinion pieces with something along the lines of, quote unquote, "this you bro," suggesting that because of the delay of a single title, the entire argument, which they surely didn't read, was now negated. It's silly because Game Pass is a good value based on the sum of its parts, not because of any single game lineup in any given year. Of course, it's a shame when a game is delayed or when a game is released mired in controversy such as Halo Infinite, which appears to have launched with very deeply unfinished post-launch content. But the true strength of Game Pass is beyond the AAA games. He was considering buying a copy of TMNT Shredder's Revenge on the PS5, but hopped over to the Xbox Series X instead, and there it was in Game Pass. Couldn't even play it without downloading it, or you could with the cloud if you didn't have enough disk space. Granted, Sony has released a very impressive new PlayStation Plus service, but its 3 tiers are a little confusing, and it doesn't come with day and date first party for the most part. Xbox has also revealed that, they continue to, expand these things. Obviously, Call of Duty eventually will be in there. So, yes, it's a shame that Starfield was delayed, and Bethesda should have focused on quality over quantity. But the strength of the Xbox platform extends far beyond the latest AAA release. Sony and Nintendo have their strength as well. Sony's exclusive content is unparalleled, though Microsoft is theoretically closing the gap. With all these big studio acquisitions, we'll have to wait and see on that, of course. Nintendo has its own gimmicks and gadgets and is on another playing field altogether as the company dominates the Japanese market that isn't ever going to change unless Sony can come up with a really compelling handheld device. Now, for now, Microsoft is leaving the consoles behind, entering into competition on multiple fronts. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all works out for Microsoft, but obviously, again, the fact that everybody is just predicting doom and gloom when Microsoft themselves has announced that, there's going to be over 50 games coming to Xbox over the next year, which they just did at their, Bethesda showcase, which, clearly the first party is looking pretty grim. But, when they start showcasing all these other games, then I think that it's really something that's going to be very interesting, to say the least. Now, they've obviously got, the third-party games and things like that coming out. But, there's stuff like Plague Tale Requiem, which is going to be Game Pass. Valheim is going to be coming into Game Pass. You also have stuff like As Dusk Falls, and you're going to be getting, like Naruka Blade Point just launched into Game Pass. Atomic Heart, Scorn. Then there's going to be third-party stuff that you're going to be able to pick up, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's going to be huge on Game Pass. Gotham Knights. Halo Infinite Season 3 is going to start up as well. Hogwarts Legacy. There's a lot of stuff. Hello Neighbor 2 that is launching on Game Pass and that is just coming to Xbox in general. I think that in general, a lot of people are probably playing backlogs. I know I'm playing a little bit of backlogs right now, and it's not because I don't have access to stuff. It's because, I have a PlayStation 5, but the last thing to come out was 5 months ago from the first party. So it's like you got to live off more than just that. That's where you start to kind of play your multiplats and you play your backlogs a little bit more. And I think that's the beauty of Game Pass, is the fact that they're doing such a good job of getting all of these amazing pieces of content out. And, I hope they continue to do that. And, listen, I've been telling people this a lot. There's nothing wrong with trying something, right? If you try something through Game Pass, you might enjoy it. You never know. I wish people would give that option a little bit more of a chance. Just if it's there, you might as well try it out, see if it's your bag, and it could be. And then you'll have something amazing to play. You might find out, so I think it's all worth trying. With that being said, I'm going to link this article. You guys can check it out. Let me know. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. If you do watch my video, please leave a like on it, as it helps it to be seen and it helps the channel to grow. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Crap gamer out.